Okay, you want to actually have the hands-on, right? Okay, so for that, any other person, only one person is saying a lot of things. What about others? See, I'm okay with both the things. I don't mind you practicing things on your own later, but I have only one vote, and which says that we need to practice. So I will just learn how to install a EC2 instance on a AWS machine. So what you require to do is you require to log in into. I hope I've shared my entire screen now. So what you need to do is you need to go to this site. You just need to search for AWS console. If you want to do alongside what I'm doing, please follow along. We need to go to AWS console, search for AWS console, AWS management console, aws.amazon.com. Okay, go to sign in to console. You already must have created logins that I expect. If you have not created login, just create a login and you can easily get this to this particular step. Okay. Now what you require is you require a Linux machine for following along the tutorial that this person is showing to install the to install the Docker on it. So what I will do is I will go to EC, means Elastic Computing Cloud, EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. I'll select this service. In this service, we will okay, this interface change is there. Let me just, so now I need to create an instance. So I'll just go to first I'll go to EC2 dashboard. So this is the dashboard of EC2. Okay, so this is a card that you need to select, launch an instance. Okay, so I want to launch a new instance. First of all, you need to select the region in which you want to launch this instance. There are various multiple regions that you can work on. So currently this user that I've created, which is a free tier user who is working in US East Coast region, I'll just select that region only. By default it is selected, but if not, you can select that region. I can go to launch instance, click on launch instance. It will ask me few details about the instance, which kind of instance I want to run. Okay, so this is Amazon Linux 2, but I don't want an Amazon Linux for this session. I want a 64-bit Ubuntu server. Okay, so I'll select this. After this selection, so I have selected the image of the instance, which is going to be an operating system. So it's a virtual machine that I'm creating over here, that you need to understand. Then I'm supposed to see. So this is a horizontal wizard. So we are in step number 2 right now. I'm selecting the instance type, which is T2 micro, which is free tier eligible. Okay, this means it won't be costing me or giving me any bill. Okay, if I use it seldomly. Okay, so I'll just review the configuration and launch this instance, or I may actually go to the next configuration settings. What all I can tweak with? I can tweak with number of CPUs. I can tweak with how much amount of memory I want. Okay, how much storage I want, and many other things I can decide and dictate about the instance. So you can see there are a lot of different instances with respect to different sizes available. Now this is another instance where there are, I guess this is 2 GB, 2 virtual CPUs are there, and memory is, this is also free tier eligible, T4G micro. Okay, memory is 2 GB, so memory is greater, but you see that this instance type is currently disabled, so you are not able to choose this instance type. Okay, so it happens, they keep on changing, rolling their instant types, and you can see how many different variants of the instances are available. Okay, let us only select this T2 type, which is default. Review and launch. It says that your instance security, your security group launch wizard1 is open to the world. So what it says that currently this instance is openly accessible from external resources. I don't mind it right now, so I'll just continue launching the instance. So it shows me all the details. It says that instance type is T2 micro, 1 virtual CPU, 1 GB of RAM, EBS, low to moderate use. The external access is SSH access, port number 22, and the 0.0. So this is my firewall rule that is applicable to the instance. This is the firewall rule that is applicable to instance. So I'm having open port 22 for SSH traffic, okay, secure shell traffic. So it will be a shell instance. I'll just say launch. So for accessing this instance, I require a key pair. The remote resource needs to have a key pair. Currently, I do not have any key pair, so I need to create a new key pair. Same will be your case. So I need to name it, give it certain name, and that name would be my key. Okay, and I have to download this key pair. Now, downloading this is important because this key pair can't be accessed after this particular thing. So I've created a new key pair for identification of my current node in order to access the remote machine, okay, using SSH key. So I'm launching the instance. So your instance is now launching. Get notified, estimated charges, and all those things. So to view the instance, I'll click on this button. So I'm just scrolling down here, right hand side, view instances. Okay, so this is currently pending. So it will take few minutes for this instance to get started. Okay, this is the instance ID. Once the instance is ready, we will be able to connect to the instance. So if I select it, once the instance is ready, currently this state is pending. As it turned to running, this button is enabled. Connect button is enabled. So I can connect to my instance. Okay. So this is the public IP address. Username is Ubuntu. Okay. And I want to connect to that instance. So I'll click on connect. I'm currently connecting to this instance using my web browser. Browser-based connectivity I'm trying. There was a problem connecting to your instance. Login failed. This instance has just started up. Wait for a few minutes. So this is what it says. Instance अभी शुरू हुआ है, अभी तक उसको provision properly नहीं हुआ है. So wait for some time. That's the reason we are not able to connect. So we can refresh it after some time. It requires certain amount of time before which we can access it. I'll give it one or two more minutes. And using browser, I can directly access the machine. I can see the public and private IPs. And if I don't want to use the browser, then I can use this key pair which I downloaded. And from my host machine, I can actually do an SSH. For that, I need to go to my downloads folder where the key will be downloaded. Okay, sorry. There might be multiple keys, that is why. So this is the key. I'm just copying this key from this location and keeping it somewhere safe. Home search. It's not allowing me to copy. Okay. I won't copy it. Just one time I need to access the machine, right? So what was the IP address? This is the public IP address. I can log in into Generally, it requires 1 or 2 minutes before which you can access your instance. So till that time, I guess we have to resort to listening to the videos. But I guess you can do these steps and keep your instance ready. Okay, you can keep your instance ready. It is still in the running state. I don't see any problem actually. Is it the Chrome that is creating problem? I used to use web browser. ठीक है SSH करून बघूया मग जाऊ द्या. So my username was Ubuntu. This is the ID. Okay, and I need to provide the key. So what is the, I guess, key is provided like this. My key. Yeah. So it will ask you to check the fingerprint. See, I have connected to my remote machine. Oh no, I haven't got the access. Sorry. Authenticity cannot be established. Yeah. Fail to add host to the list of known hosts. Permission are too open. Okay, so the reason behind it is not allowing me to access because the permissions for this file, which is 0664, okay, are too open, and that's the reason it is not allowing me to do it. So I have to put it in the secure place, then only it will allow me to. Earlier I tried, if you remember, I was trying to copy this my key into a secure location. This happens on Linux machine, maybe will not happen on Windows machine. If you are using Putty or any other application, I need to just copy this to my SSH. Keep my key here with all the other keys that maybe I have. If I use it will still crib about that. Permission denied to the public key. It is not accessible because I'm trying with SSH. Now I kept it inside that folder, which is having only administrative access. It still says the permissions are 06446 is read write permissions are given to it. So we need to do chmod, change mode of the file. I have to give it, I guess, read access only. So it should be 444. It's only a read access. So I can't write it now. Now probably it won't crib. Still it is cribbing. Record that your private key file is not accessible by others. Private key will be ignored. Okay. Others को access नहीं चाहिए. So I will need to give no access to others or the group members, and I'll keep it to myself. It said that it should not be accessible by others. That's why I'm trying to give it access only uniquely to me. So now it is trying to connect. It did not give me an error. And see, this is the IP address I've connected to. Okay, I can check the IP address. This is the IP address, and this is the remote machine that we just created. So this is the instance that we had created, and we have logged into that instance finally. It took me some time because I tend to forget those key management stuff. So I hope we have all reached to a point where we have access to some remote machine like this. So I'll quickly run through the steps. You need to go to EC2 service of AWS console. In that, you need to go and click on launch instance, create a T2 micro instance. Okay, keep it running. So we have that instance up and running currently. Okay, this is the instance. I click on this, you will find that the instance is running. Okay, so you need to create your own instance. That is the only catch. Once you have the instance, download the key pair, private key pair. Using putty, you can log into that particular instance. Okay, and I hope you will also be able to log in now through this. No, I don't know what is happening, but an AMI supports EC2 instance connect. Okay, nowadays there are certain issues for this browser-based access. That's what we were doing, right? They're asking us to go to console, get in here, use the connect button, EC2 instance connect, instance ID, username. You are using the username of, the user. That was the default username that we had given to the instance, and click on connect. That is exactly, we are doing the exactly same steps that the documentation says. Something wrong. Let it be. We have this access. So I'll just show you the steps that guy told us. So what we need to do is we need to go to the Docker docs. Where is that? We need to go to Docker docs, Docker documentation. So this is the yeah. And in here, the installation guide, we need to go to installation steps for Linux. Okay, go to install. You'll find that you will require platform Ubuntu here. Select the Ubuntu platform for installation instruction for Ubuntu. Now you may have different version of Ubuntu. You can check which version you are having, and depending on that, select the steps. Okay, so we have 18.04 selected for our instance, and yeah, since this instance is just now created, there is no question of having previous or older versions of Docker installed on your machine. Hence, this step is not needed. So I just need to increase the font. Okay, the installation steps are pretty easy as such. If you are using installation using repository, you need to update your aptitude repository. Then you need to install few of the softwares, which are these. Okay, first one is transport HTTPS, and यानी apt को HTTPS का में बंडल किया हुआ सॉफ्टवेयर डाउनलोड करने के लिए जो सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए, that you need to install. Then certificate you need to download for the application to be checked for its authenticity. Then CURL for downloading remote repositories, remote files. Then GNU PG, this is about the GPG check, okay, the key check, the software's validity checking, and LSB release. These are the software that you are installing. Okay, the command is multi-line, that is why the slashes are there. So you are installing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 softwares. After that, you are just downloading the So GPG key is the hash key for the software. So the file that we are going to download, does it corresponds to the actual uploaded file? ये cross check करने के लिए GPG key होता है. That is what we are downloading. It is just a key pair, just to verify whether the software that we are downloading is authentic software or not. That is done using this step. Okay. And then there are certain other softwares that we can install after one more update. Okay. But इतना सारा सब करने के बजाय, जैसे उन्होंने बोला, there is a simple way of doing it, which is called as convenience script. Somebody has actually written a script, shell script, using which you can directly do all these activities. So we have to download that script using curl command. So first we need to be assured that on our machine curl is installed or not. So we'll go to terminal and we'll find out whether curl is installed or not. So if I check curl is installed, so I don't have any problem now. If curl is by default not installed, what you will do is you will just do sudo apt-get install curl. That is what you will do. Okay. So I just copy pasted this file. So this is the place from where I want to get this file docker.sh. Okay. So this file is downloaded. So Amazon instance is very quick with respect to networking. So you'll find that it downloads things very quickly. Okay, that's the good part of it. And now I need to just execute it. Should I execute it? Yeah. It says it gives some option and then executes it. So I'll just give the same option so that there is no issue. So this is an environment variable that you are creating, dry run is equal to 1, and then you are saying sh./docker.sh. You are just installing it, executing docker install script, commit so and so, apt-get update, Debian frontend, interactive apt install, y, and it did something very fast. I'm not sure whether it did everything or not. Okay, did it install it? It did not install it. We'll just check what happened. And runs into install the latest stable release of Docker Linux. Okay. So we'll just need to use this one. Let's see what went wrong. Yeah. It just showed you the content. That's all it did. Now it is actually executing all these steps. Okay, earlier we just displayed the contents of the file. Now we are executing every step in the file. So dry run only showed you the commands that you are executing. That dry run is equal to 1 sh space / get docker.sh did what? It showed you the content of the file line by line. Okay, without actually executing the steps. Now it is executing the steps. So at the end of execution, you will find that your Docker software is installed on this machine. It will take some time. We will keep it burning on the gas and we'll go back to our tutorial videos where they will teach you about different Docker commands that will let you create or pull Docker images from the Docker Hub. They will tell you how to know how many images are there on your machine and other things. Okay, so ये होता रहेगा. अरे it did execute. Yeah, it did execute very fast. It says, see, it executed this command as well, Docker version. Okay, so client version is this much. So 2010.8. So it did very quickly. So RAM is not good for this particular machine, but networking speed is so good that it downloaded everything very fast. If you do this on your host machine at home, it will definitely be taking much more longer time. Now that Docker is installed, the first command that you can try is you can check the Docker version, and you can see that the client version of the Docker is this one.